Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a general reading. For first, we're going to do Pisces, then we'll do Aries, and then we'll do Taurus. And I will be putting timestamps in the comments down below and in the actual description of the video after the live is done. All right, so this is going to be a general reading for Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, and it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc., and money. I think I said money twice, but yeah, all the stuff. Okay, all the good stuff. And yes, so we're going to go ahead and start with Pisces in just a minute. I've pulled all of your cards ahead of time here, Pisces. We just want to mention a few, or I just want to mention a few things before we get started. I did want to say, of course, everyone is welcome, whether you're a cross watcher for another sign or whatever, right? I appreciate everyone's energy. And whether you're new or you're returning, I really appreciate everyone. So with that being said too, I also do appreciate all the likes here on the channel. It's a great way to, a free way to help support the channel with others and share the video with others here on YouTube, right? Because every time you like it, it tells YouTube's algorithms to share it with others. So not only does it tell me that you resonated or you liked something in the video, it also helps share it with others. So appreciate that. If you feel like you want to do that, you don't have to, of course. And then also, if you want to subscribe, it's also free. It's just, if you haven't already, right? All you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure it's blue and it's active, and it'll just notify you when I put out new videos. So this reading also is a timeless reading for everybody, okay? So whenever you see this reading, it is meant for you. And as an example, for some people, it could resonate, a couple months in the past or a couple months in the future, or exactly from, May 20th through June 20th, okay? It really just depends, since it is a general reading for multiple people. All right, so keep that in mind as well. And if you find as we get into any of these readings that you don't resonate with it, never force it. So always check your sun, rising, and moon signs as well. And if you don't know your sun, rising, or moon sign, you can get a free birth chart online. Just I think Astrology Cafe is the one that I use. And even if you don't have your exact birth time, as long as you have your birth date and where you were born, you can find out some of your other placements, right? So for Jupiter, you would check for your abundance and luck. For Venus would be for love and money, assets like that. And then, of course, depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your moon sign or your sun sign or your rising sign. So that's why I always kind of try to mention that. All right. And thanks to all the people out there who always hear me repeating these things. I just kind of have to do it in case we do have some new people who are new to the YouTube world or astrology world or tarot world or any of those things, right? All right, what else? I think that's pretty much it. Yes. Oh yeah, one more thing. We all have, right, Pisces. We all have Aries. We all have Taurus somewhere in our chart. We all have all 12 zodiac signs in our birth chart, okay? So even if you pull up your birth chart and you say, well, I don't see where the Taurus is, you can check the houses. It might be there as well, okay? So there's definitely, hopefully, a message here for everybody, and all are welcome. So let's go ahead and do a quick little sound bell here for some general grounding and healing for the reading, and then we'll get started here, Pisces. All right, so just be aware, sometimes it does get loud if you're listening with headphones or whatnot, okay? So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen as well. All right. All right, Pisces. Let's go ahead and get into your reading here. Like I was mentioning before, I pulled all your cards ahead of time. So we are doing a different kind of spread than I've been doing lately, but we're doing one card for every week or so time period. So for the next 4 weeks or so, right? And then we also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. And then also you have a confirmation card, and then you also have an oracle card at the very end, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go ahead and call out your cards and then go in order. So you have the Ace of Cups in the right side up position here, Pisces. You have the Four of Cups in the reverse position. You have the Wheel of Fortune in the right side up position. You have the Three of Sacred Circles or Three of Pentacles in the right side up position. All right, and then we'll go over the other ones as we come to it. All right, and so I would say right off the bat here, Pisces, you do have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas, okay? So that can be either good or bad, right? It's just kind of talking about a significant amount of change could be coming up. You have 2 that are in the past position, so maybe some of the changes already started in the past. Will be different for everybody. But as far as the other zodiac signs we see here, Pisces, you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is 4 different signs. So we have Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. We have Libra energy, we have Pisces energy, okay? And you do have a repeating card that we'll talk about when it comes up, okay? So that's always interesting when that does happen. And so you could be dealing with, what did I say for Wheel of Fortune was 4 different signs. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Leo, a Scorpio, or a Taurus. You could be dealing with a Libra or a Pisces, okay? As an example, right? Not for everybody. Or you could have a lot of those signs predominantly in your birth chart or their birth chart, or it could have something to do with the collective unconscious of the astrology of this time period. I do have my astrology notes here. Well, Mercury retrograde left Gemini yesterday and went into Taurus, so that could be some of the Taurus energy. Vesta, which rules aspiration, plans, and goals, is going to be entering into Pisces on the 24th, which is tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this. What else did I say? Leo. Do we have anything with Leo? I don't think so. And do we have anything with Aquarius? I don't think so either on first on first glance. Do we have anything with Libra? Well, Venus is one of the rulers of Libra, and Venus enters into Taurus on May 28th. Okay, you could say that. And then what was the other one? Pisces. We already mentioned that one. So yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So like I said, you could resonate with those zodiac signs that I just called out as far as what's in your reading, but you don't have to, okay? Just wanted to mention it ahead of time before we got started, all right? So now let's break down the week's time period or so as an estimation or a guesstimation, okay, of what these first 4 cards correspond to. Okay, so since we're doing from May 20th to June 20th, the first one is going to be from around May 20th through May 29th. The second card can be from around May 29th through June 6th. The third card can be from around June 7th through June 13th. The fourth card can be from around June 14th through June 20th. Okay, again, not exact, can be a little bit before, a little bit after, all that good stuff. All right. So, Pisces, right? You have a really nice reading here. I just wanted to say right off the bat, like just foreshadow and give it away. It's really nice reading and lots of good things coming up, beautiful things here. A little bit of some stuff we'll go over that maybe, started in the past and a couple of like gentle reminders for the future, but for the most part, in the first 4 cards, everything is forward momentum and progress, and it looks really good here, Pisces. So when we talk about your first card too, in particular, this can be energy from the recent past. And recent past will be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, it could be a couple of weeks, months, years, etc., whatever it means for you. But we start off your reading here with Pisces, the Ace of Cups in the right side up position. And now this could be your energy or someone's energy around you, someone you're dealing with, a general environment, okay? But it's literally all about endings and new beginnings, and your cup is runneth over here, right? We have the cups in tarot and the water represent our emotions. So emotional fulfillment, emotional contentment, emotional happiness around this ending, new beginning, fresh start energy. That's what all the aces represent, right? But in particular, this one is more around the emotional stuff here, okay? And this is really beautiful and nice to see. And like I said, this could be kind of the week that we're in now, since I said it was from about May 20th through May 29th or so. So going to the end of May, and even for some, right, the first week or so of June, right, it really will depend. But either way, it is very beautiful, right? I mean, you don't often, start off a reading with the ace card, so that's really beautiful to see. Not only that, when you see this card in other decks, I forgot to mention, sometimes you see a lotus flower that's growing in the water. So this also talks about this ending, this new beginning, this fresh start energy could perhaps be here for some because you were very resilient, or the other person was very resilient, or everybody or multiple people were very resilient in your environment around you, okay? Because, right, we know the lotus flower grows in the water and not the ground. So that's an evolution of growing in difficult or challenging circumstances, situations, okay? But that led to this beautiful Ace of Cups energy. All right, moving forward, Pisces. Then we have, as your second card, your second week, so from like May 29th to June 6th or so, we have the Four of Cups in reverse position. And this is how you want to see this card, okay? Because it talks about somebody here, Pisces, or either you yourself or another person, has now, they were maybe bored before, they wanted a challenge, they weren't particularly happy with something going on emotionally, because this guy is only focusing on the 3 cups ahead of him. It's not like good or bad stuff necessarily was happening, but it just wasn't sparking his joy, his passion, his creativity, his excitement. Excuse me, right? If that would be so if the card was in the right side up position. But what he doesn't realize is if he remains a little bit patient, or he changes his perspective slightly, that the hand of the divine is going to come in with another cup that is going to bring back the passion, the creativity, and the joy. So when the Four of Cups shows up in the reverse position, that means that those things are now coming back, okay? And like I said, that's how you want to see that card. Again, really nice for momentum and progress and beautiful things, okay? Then moving forward, again, more abundance, more forward momentum and progress. We literally have here Pisces in your third week, and it could be from around June 7th through the 13th or so. You have the Wheel of Fortune, okay? So now luck is on your side, okay? And we see the planets here in the background and some of the other zodiac signs, and the wheel, the zodiac wheel is kind of turning. So we know that when you get the Wheel of Fortune, it is about now it's your time to have more favorable events, okay? And when we're talking about June 7th through the 13th, there is a point around June 13th where Mercury is going to be leaving Taurus and now going back to one of its ruling signs, Gemini. So that could be part of that Wheel of Fortune energy where things are starting to be a little bit more easier. We still will have the Mercury retrograde shadow for some. Everyone will feel it differently till about June 18th, okay? But I don't feel like this Wheel of Fortune has really that much to do with the astrology, because it looks like, again, when you started off with the Ace of Cups, that somebody was very resilient, put a lot of hard work and effort into gaining these positive cards and alignments and progress and for momentum and abundance and all those things, all right? So, take it as you will, right? But like I said, we all have Pisces somewhere in our birth chart. So very nice to see. All right, now moving forward to your fourth card here in your fourth week, which could be from around June 14th through June 20th or so, right? We have the Three of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as Three of Pentacles. What's interesting to have this card in this position is normally you would think, right? I mean, life is not always linear, right? Things don't always logically make sense, but you would think normally that the Three of Pentacles, right, as it's building abundance, it's not an 8 or a 10 of Pentacles, would come before the Ace of Cups. But this time, it's coming after. Okay, so that's really interesting. Now, when this shows up here, Pisces, I really was feeling that this was kind of a reminder to make sure you, number one, maybe don't take this, all these positive cards, 3 cards that came before it for granted, but also you learn to make that luck, that abundance, and abundance isn't just money, it is money and wealth, but it can be whatever you want to manifest in your life. Don't take it for granted. And also, how are you going to pace yourself, pace the money, pace the energy, pace your health, your love, wealth, businesses, etc., right? All those things. How can you pace yourself for the long winter that might be coming ahead? Winter as a metaphor, right? Since everyone's in different parts of the world in different times. But in particular, in this deck, the way that the Three of Pentacles or Three of Sacred Circles shows up is that we see this small little Native American hut, and in the background and in the drums right here in the center, we see an image of the bear and an eagle. So the bear is that symbol for power, right? Courage, dynamic energy, all those things, but also in particular, because there's snow on the ground here, again, wintertime, how does the bear conserve his energy, his food, his resources for the long winter? So there's a lesson there, right? So how do you keep all this good energy for momentum, progress, wealth, love, money, all these things? How can you make sure that you are pacing yourself or the other person is, or multiple people, general environment situation, right? But how can we make that last longer for the long winter? Also with the eagle here, it's like, how can we see something from a higher perspective, not just our own small piece of something, right? Whatever it is you're working on or building towards. But how can I see the higher perspective where everybody's involved and I can see how the pieces come together? How can I see a more broader viewpoint on, again, this abundance for momentum and progress? And how can I keep it going moving forward? Okay. So, like I said, really good first 4 cards here. And so this is actually where I want to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, along with the Three of Sacred Circles, because even though it is not like a bad card or energetic blockage or stagnant energy per se, but it is also the Three of Pentacles is about juggling responsibilities, right? So again, how do I make the resources last, my energy last, all those things, but also how do I work well with others, okay? Because here we see the hut, okay, the Native American hut is kind of off to itself, but in the background there's the village, right, too. So if he wants more pentacles, or she, or just not even talking about gender, right, if they want more abundance, how are they going to work well with the community too? Okay, so let's talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck here, along with that Three of Pentacles, Three of Sacred Circles. Okay, and these cards, the top and the bottom, is past energy, whatever that means for you. So in the first deck we have the Judgment card and the Libra energy right off the bat, and then on the bottom we have the Hanged One of the Hanged Man, so Pisces energy showing up here, along with, I'm sorry, let me hold this up too, the Three Sacred Circles right side up. Okay, so it looks like here, Pisces, that in the past there could have been some questions that came about for either you, yourself, the other person, general environment, where they're like, do I want to resurrect something? Do I want to rework something, revisit something, right? Maybe that was like the beginning of Mercury retrograde for some, perhaps, right? But it can go further back to previous Mercury retrogrades, or even, last year's retrogrades, or maybe has nothing to do with the retrogrades at all. Okay, but it's asking those kind of questions, because when you see the Judgment card, it's somebody who is being lifted out of their tomb, their coffin, right, to be then brought into heaven and the new world, or whatever you want to call it, right? So it's like their soul has been weighed and judged, and if they were a good person, right, the story is you get to go to heaven. We're not talking about religion or any of that stuff, just using it as a metaphor, okay? But in the way that this card is depicted, we see this woman, she's kind of woken up out of bed, and she's floating or swimming or whatever you want to call it towards the top part of the card, where she's punching the mirror image of herself. Okay, so if there was a judgment that didn't go in your favor in the past here, Pisces, or someone else's favor, it's just a little warning to not get into the self-destructive kind of energies. Okay. But based on all of the other cards that I see here, and even when we put it with the three sacred circles or three of pentacles, it doesn't necessarily look like it was a bad judgment, but it could have been, and it could have acted as a catalyst, okay? Because the Judgment card is right next to the Hanged One, okay? So if it was a bad judgment that didn't go in your favor, or the other person's favor, multiple people's favors, right? It was a catalyst that then led to the Hanged One being in the right side up position, which is about having a new perspective, seeing something from a different angle. And here we see the little fetus in the belly, right? So it kind of says that it jump started this energy in the past to someone being like, okay, just like the eagle we were talking about too, seeing something from a higher perspective or a different point of view or angle, right? That the Hanged Man in the past position could certainly, be in what's the word I'm trying to think? It could be in the same energy or the same feeling as the eagle, right, flying above. Okay. All right, now moving forward, let's talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck, okay? And here we have a repeating card for you here, and they're both in the past position, and they're both in the right side up position. So you have two Judgment cards. So that's a particular message from Spirit when you have the same card in two different decks, okay? So I do lots of shuffling and all that good stuff. So when it comes out, it's like 1 in 72 chances or 78 chances, depending on how many cards are in each tarot deck, that it's going to come out again, and they're both in the past, and they're both in the right side up position, okay? So it means the same thing, right? So you can just kind of see how the different artists depict it, but here we see some people, I guess, that are dead or something. It's kind of morbid, but it's okay. They're laying down, and then one of them is kind of standing up, and we see Archangel Michael calling to him to know he can come to heaven, right? But again, it is about, do I want to resurrect something, revisit something? Am I being judged correctly? Is the other person being judged correctly? When we talk about judgment, you think of justice or morals or a legal system, right? But also it's like, do I want to, when we look at the old card or the other card in the other card in a different deck, but the same card, it's like she woke up out of her bed to have this judgment. So do you want to go back to sleep, or do you want to put something to bed or put something to rest, or not revisit, rework something here? Or if there was a judgment that didn't go in your favor, their favor, how can you let that go and then move forward, right? Because obviously things don't always go in our favor. That's true for everybody in life. So how can you then transmute that energy and kind of move forward? But let me show you also, because I kind of jumped ahead there for a second just to show you the same cards that came out. But this is what came out on the top of your deck here. This is the Knight of Swords in the right side up position, and then the Judgment card was on the bottom. And again, we're talking about it with kind of the Three of Sacred Circles or Three of Pentacles in the right side up position. Okay, so here this is saying, on the other hand, Pisces, that somebody perhaps gave some type of offer in the past to you, or you gave an offer to someone else, or multiple people, whatever it is, and it was a medium-sized offer or opportunity, or perhaps it was not, it didn't come from a person at all, or it didn't come from you, but it came from your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your ancestors, the universe in general, what have you. Okay, and so it kind of, maybe in this sense, right, because these are a little bit different than the other two, because we don't have the same cards, right? But it is, I'm trying to think of the way to say it. It's like this Knight of Swords, kind of the offer that came through, right? Whether it's a person or opportunity or from the universe, it came and brought about these questions, right? So are you going to take the new opportunity if it was a new opportunity? Okay. Or are you going to go back to the old one? Are you going to take the new way of looking at something, or are you going to take the old way of looking at something? Or can you merge both of them, right? But how do I, again, conserve my energy, my resources, my love, my business, etc., to keep bringing the abundance forward, but to go through the long winter, right, to make it last. Okay, so again, it will be different for everybody, but really interesting and really cool, obviously, when we have a repeating card. All right, let's keep going forward, though. Let's talk about, and this time, Pisces, because you're special, I guess, I've only been taking one confirmation card, but you did have two that came out and Spirit really wanted it, so I took it. All right. All the other signs, don't be mad at me, right? It just happened. So when we talk about the confirmation cards, it's going to be confirming, the whole reading pretty much, more or less. So we have, and the confirmation cards can be, since this time we have two instead of one, it can be more future possibilities, current energies coming up. Okay, it looks like one is a gentle reminder here, and the other one is kind of showing you, if you take that reminder in, possibly what you may get. Okay, so what we have is the Six of Swords right side up, and then the Ace of Pentacles right side up. Okay, so we'll kind of do it one by one for a second. So with this Six of Swords here, it's saying there's progress, right? But if you let any feelings of betrayal or not trusting someone or something or a person, the energy, and you let it lead to possible anxiety, worry, overthinking, that's what the swords going down represent, right? Or you let your emotions or the other person's emotions or multiple people's emotions get clouding their judgment, their logical mind, their sword, their crown chakra. If you do that, then it's going to slow the progress down even more. So it's like a gentle reminder that you need to trust. If you have selected a path and you're on the path, even if the path you don't currently like it, let's say, if you said, okay, I'm going to let this thing run its course, I'm going to trust my instincts. Always trust your instincts, your intuition. But how can I process my emotions in a more healthy way, to work with my physical body, my energetic body, my spiritual body, all that stuff, so I don't have too much anxiety, worry, overthinking, or betrayal, or not trusting, so I can keep moving forward. Because if you do that here, Pisces, what do you have? Another ace. Okay, you literally started the beginning of your reading with Ace of Cups, and you end your reading with the Ace of Pentacles right side up. So, again, gifts from the divine, endings, new beginning, fresh start energy. And this card in particular, too, with the Ace of Pentacles, kind of referencing in the imagery like summertime, right? So again, depending on where you are in the world and all of that, because summer can look different for everybody. But, and of course, summertime is different for everybody. What am I saying? Basically, trying to think of the right way to say it. These things can start to show up, right, during the summer. So when is summer officially? Some people say that it is June 21st on the summer solstice. That's the height of summer. Some people say that, summer starts Memorial Day weekend in the US, whatever it is, right? Or it could just be a metaphor for summertime, right? But it's kind of, saying here that this could already have, started to happen if you stay on this path, right? Because all four of your cards, all 4 weeks that we talked about, are really positive for momentum, progress, right? So if you stay on this course so far here, Pisces, then you can reach that other ace, the Ace of Pentacles. So it looks really beautiful. All right. I'm loving this for you, Pisces. Okay. And then real quickly before you go, we do have your little oracle card here too. And I pulled it ahead of time. Yes. So you got card number 13. It's the Arise card. And this is from the Rumi Oracle deck by Helena Fairchild. And Rumi was a 13th century poet. And she took some of his poetry and put it with these really beautiful artist depictions here. So here we see this kind of person, human figure down here, kind of bent over, and there's all this blue energy or blue feelings, and then we see kind of this angel-like figure coming towards it. So let me just read this quick poem and then the short meditation, and then I'll let you guys go, and then we'll move on to Aries energy. All right. Okay. Arise. Wings of hope languish from lack of use. When wings dissipate and weaken, life begins to lose its value. Every cell in your body is created to rise to challenges. Your life is meant to confront everything that holds you captive. Don't sit at the bottom of the well, not caring about salvation. Listen to the voice within calling to you. Reach for eminence beyond your own maturity. I dance before you in sacred spectacle, hoping to garner your attention. Look at me, I cried to your ailing spirit and despondent flesh. Look at me. If you were to look up, you would see that I am a mirror of your own being, your light, your heart, your spirit, your all. Yes, there is pain. Yes, there is a letting go taking place, and you are frightened and uncertain sometimes, but you will make this mean something that it does not. It means that you are to turn your head away from what is dying. Do this gently but firmly. Turn your head towards what is living. Look at me. I will show you truth, and you shall laugh your deepest belly laugh with so much glee, sharing in the secret that the only force at work in your life is unconditional, loving divinity. All right, that is beautiful. So yeah, I mean, that could be energy from the Judgment card for sure, right? Like coming, if again, the Judgment was not in your favor or was just some harsh energies in general, maybe this Oracle card is right, is telling you to come out of that blue energy and all the stuff it just said and what it's going to say too here. Okay, so the little meditation for the getting into the energy of this card says, stand up and turn behind you, say aloud, with gratitude and deep soul daring, I choose to say thank you and goodbye to my past. What has been and is no longer to be, I am at peace with this, for what has been is nothing more than the fertilizer for life to flourish now. With complete forgiveness and acceptance, I allow this letting go to happen with all of my heart. I ask for unconditional love to assist me in this sacred surrender now. Okay. Then it says, turn now to face forward and say aloud, I invite in life, I invite in love, I invite in what is required for my own spiritual success and thriving divinity. Through unconditional love and divine mercy, through the guiding spirit of my soul brother Rumi, may this be so. Then place one hand over your heart and say aloud, in this present moment, life thrives. It is within this thriving grace that I choose to place my consciousness now. I am an angel ablaze. I trust in the beneficent, I can't say this word, trust in the beneficent, why can't I say this right now? Trust in the all-encompassing divinity guiding my way. Place both hands in prayer, and when you're ready, simply bow your head. You finished your sacred honoring ritual. Okay. So yeah, sometimes I can't say words, but that's all right. So yeah, that was beautiful, Pisces. I hope you got something from it. So I already took your picture. Yeah, I forgot to say that in the beginning. If you want to look at the cards more up close in detail and the picture, all you have to do is click in the description box below. And after the live is done, I will post the picture there. So yeah, let's go ahead and shift the energies and keep moving forward. And we're gonna do Aries next. All right. And we'll do another sound bell to also help ground the energies and focus again, all that good stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Pisces too. It's a Pisces moon right now when I'm filming this, so yay to all the Pisces energy. Sometimes it happens that way, guys. I'll be doing readings and it might just happen to fall on something going on with the astrology will coincide like with what sign I'm on. Sometimes it happens, so it's cool. All right, anyway, let's just throw these cards and do some really good shuffles. And let the crystals kind of charge the cards as well and clearing the energy. All right. I think I forgot to set my timer last time, so I'll do it this time. Hopefully I will remember. All right, but it's just kind of a general time frame anyway. Okay, so before we do the shuffling, though, let's do the bell. Yes, okay. So just be aware it gets loud sometimes if you're sensitive. But everybody, if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out, or you can just listen. All right. All right, Aries. Let's get into it. Okay. I always like to start with this one, but it doesn't really matter. So this is going to be, if you're just tuning in after I do the timestamps and all that, or you're skipping over the Pisces reading, this is a general reading, just like all the readings. So it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. It's a timeless reading, so that's always cool, right? Whenever you see this message, it is meant for you. It can be months in the past or months in the future, or it can be during this exact time frame from May 20th to June 20th, 2002. So always take it how it resonates for you, right? All right. And usually before I turn on the camera, I invite in all my spirit guides, guardian angels, all the helpers, the positive energy, my familiars, etc., right, to help me be a clear channel for spirit for messages for you guys. So if you hear me say spirit, that's usually what's going on, if you didn't know. Okay, so messages for Aries for May 20th to June 20th, you need to see. All right. Messages for Aries for May 20th to June 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest good? Okay. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries for May 20th, June 20th. All right. We're just going to mix them all up. into the little fish pond. All right. Messages for fire sign Aries. The Ram, Aries, the Ram. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest good and vibration? Messages for Aries. Okay, so we got one. We'll just leave this for the end of the reading. All right, we're going to keep moving on. Okay. Spirits guide my hands. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries. The Ram. The messages for Aries. What does Aries need to see? What does Aries need to know? That is good. Messages for Aries. For May 20th through June 20th. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. May 20th through June 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for Aries. For May 20th through June 20th. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. All right. Let's mix it up. Okay. Make sure I put it there. Okay. All right, guys. Messages for fire sign Aries. The Ram. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? For May 20th through June 20th. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Aries. For May 20th through June 20th. Messages for Aries. Messages for fire sign Aries. The Ram. For May 20th through June 20th. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. Okay. Messages for Aries. The Ram. Fire sign Aries. For May 20th through June 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Okay. So always going to confirm if they want it reversed or right side up. Okay. And first. All right. So those are the 4 cards, and then we're also going to take the top and the bottom. Okay, moving on to the other deck. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Aries. Fire sign Aries. The Ram. For May 20th to June 20th, what do we need to see? Messages for Aries. They're slippery. Okay, hold on. And my ring's falling off. Okay. Messages for Aries. May 20th to June 20th. Aries. The Ram. What does Aries need to see? What does Aries need to know for their highest good? For May 20th to June 20th. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest vibration? Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. All right, let's just mix it up. We're only going to take 1 card from this deck anyway, but of course, want to make sure that everything is all shuffled, and then we will take the top and the bottom as well. All right. Messages for Aries, fire sign Aries, the ram. For May 20th to June 20th. What does Aries need to see? What does Aries need to know? Ah. All right. And this is the top. And the bottom. All right. Stay. Okay, so let's pull everything down and then we will take a quick picture before we get started so we have it for later. Okay. Oh wait, there's a reversal. Let me make sure they want it like that. Okay, so they want it reversed, so we'll leave it. So we have the Oracle card. We have the little Aries. Aries. Okay, let me take a quick photo and then we'll get started, everybody. Okay. All right, so good enough for me. What else? We already did the sound bell. So yeah, let's just get started. I will set the timer in just a moment. Well, I might as well do it now because then I'll forget. Okay. Timer on. Yes. Okay. So Aries, we are doing your first 4 cards, which can correspond to about a week's time frame or so. Okay. And then we, of course, will talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, and then your confirmation card and your oracle card at the very end. All right, so let's see. So we're saying that this first card can be energy around, right, May 20th through May 29th. Second card can be around May 29th through June 6th. Third card can be from around June 7th through June 13th. And fourth card and fourth week can be from around June 14th through June 20th, okay? Again, it's not exact. A little bit before, a little bit after. All right, so let's call out your cards and then go in order here. So we do have, well, let's actually count. Oh, never mind, you only have, well, you have 2. Sorry, guys. I got like space for a second. So you have 2 major arcanas here, okay? So it's not good or bad, it just speaks of a certain amount of change. One is in the past position and one is in the future current possibilities position, okay? So we do have Gemini energy here and we also have Sagittarius energy here, okay? And possibly Gemini sometimes. Because the Magician card, some people say it's Sagittarius, some people say it's Gemini. It's all really different for every tarot reader or reader out there in general. So anyway, that means you could be dealing with a Gemini, Sagittarius. Oh, we have Gemini twice, so I guess it could definitely be a Gemini then. It could be a Gemini or a Sagittarius, okay? Or you could have a lot of Gemini and Sagittarius in your own birth chart or the other person's chart or multiple people's chart. Or it could have something to do with the astrology, right? We're officially in Gemini season as of May 20th. Or yeah, so it could be a lot of different things. Or maybe the zodiac sign doesn't necessarily resonate with you at this time, which is okay too. I just wanted to call it out in the beginning before I kind of forgot. Okay, so now let's call out the other cards in order. So you have the Lovers in the reverse position here, Aries. You have Seven of Sacred Circles or Seven of Pentacles right side up. You have the Ace of Cups right side up. You have another Ace, my God, Aries, the Ace of Sacred Circles right side up. So interesting, yes. And then we'll call out the other ones kind of as we go. And when we talk about the first card, of course, or even, perhaps throughout the whole reading here, Aries, we can be picking up energy from the recent past, whatever that means for you, right? But with this Lovers in the reverse position as your first card, as we can see for the next three, it's not the end of the world because your other ones are like super abundant for momentum and progress. It could just be a small energetic blockage or some stagnant energy, a gentle reminder, whatever you want to call it here, okay? But the Lovers is in reverse, okay? So this can be talking about a couple different things. It can be all unions, whether they're romantic, like the couple, okay, in the card, or it can be platonic relationships, friends and family, or even self-love. But something is not balanced, okay? Something or someone, the energy of the card basically is saying that this could be more of lower vibrational frequencies. When the Lovers card is right side up, or even if you know tarot or you're familiar, the Two of Cups, if it was right side up, it would be about equal give and take, masculine and feminine energies that we all have inside of us, right? But it talks about higher vibrational love when it's right side up, divinely guided. When it's in reverse, something is off. The balance is off. Or when we talk about lower vibrational frequencies, right, it can be like if this is a union, right, that we're talking about between two people, two parties, two corporations, what have you, whatever it could be, that they are not bringing out the best in each other at this time when this is showing up, okay? So when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom, we'll get, even more insight, okay? But because the Lovers is the official Gemini card, right, this could be, right, happening around for some Gemini season, or dealing with a Gemini in particular, or it could be past Gemini seasons, right? Because you also have Gemini energy in the past position to recent past or even further back than that, okay? But anyway, let's just go ahead and see what we have here. All right, so on one deck, you have the Nine of Staves, also known as the Nine of Wands, in the right side up position on the top of your deck, and then you have the Queen of Cups in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck in relation to that Lovers in reverse, right? So what is, could be going on here, Aries, is that somebody, some energy, okay, or even you yourself, right, in the past in some way was like really exhausted, wanting to give up with something, okay? When the Nine of Wands or Nine of Staves shows up, they're almost at 10, but they're really tired. And here we see this African boy who's doing some kind of rite of passage, right? And he's almost at the end of his test or his journey, his passage, okay? But he's just really tired. So it can be like burnout energies. Also, when we talk about staves or wands, as far as our health, right? Our defense system, that would be our immune system. So again, either, some kind of burnout energy. It could be different types of burnout for different types of people, right? But what's interesting, right, or cool to look at is that that burnout energy or wanting to give up energy, if it's not necessarily burnt out, leads to the Queen of Cups in the right side up position, okay? So she's a young queen, okay? She just got on the throne, let's say. And she is wanting to change certain things and then also wanting to keep some things the same, because we have the stained glass window in the background with the cup, okay? And this is supposed to be Guinevere, and she's really dreamy and poetic and creative and all of these things. But she also has a lot of support around her. She's like sitting on her throne, right? And she is wanting to ascend to be a really good queen, right? And so queens, since we don't have any princesses in your reading here, there could be in the past in some way here, Aries, there was a leveling up, okay? And maybe some area of your life or the other person's life or general environment, right? Where you go from one stage to the next, from entry level to manager, from manager to CEO, etc., right? But it's weird because when you put it with the lovers in reverse, perhaps there was some kind of, it's not jealousy, but perhaps one party or one person or one energy in one of these sacred unions, whether romantic, platonic, work partnerships, or self-love, different parts of self, maybe some part of it was not wanting to level up or not accepting the leveling up or accepting the support in some way. Maybe right when we talked about too, the 9 being almost 10, so endings and new beginnings being right around the corner, and then you have the queen, so it is leveling up. Maybe somebody here or an energy here, Aries, was also wanting it to be more equal, right? So if you think of, like, as an example, let's say you have some friends and you are in high school or like young adult, right? And you get accepted into one college and the other person doesn't, okay? Just an example. And then it's like you have to each kind of go on your own paths. Doesn't mean you can't still be friends, right? But you maybe there's some kind of change perhaps in where you go to school, where you work, where whatever it is, right? It can be money, it can be love, all that stuff. But it's interesting. It will be different for everybody, but there's some kind of change here that is like also maybe somebody in the past was not giving enough, okay? Because we have the burnout card, that 9 of staves or 9 of wands, right side up. Maybe they weren't giving enough to this union, right? If this is a union that existed in the past in some way, work, romantic, platonic, self-love, right? If they weren't giving enough because they were exhausted, they didn't mean to, maybe, right? They just had a lot on their plate. Maybe that is why the lovers is in the reverse position here too, right? Because we want it to be equal. We want to give and receive the same amount. We want things to be, high vibe. Like I bring out the best in you, you bring out the best in me, okay? But there's just a little energetic blockage or some stagnant energy there. So again, don't worry about it too much, okay? Because you have some other really great cards here. But let's talk while we're still on the lovers for just a moment more. What's on the top and the bottom of your other deck? So here you have the Magician in the reverse position and the 2 of Wands right side up, okay? So again, this is past energy, whatever that means for you. All right, so here's the Magician. That is Scorpio, not Scorpio, sorry. Sagittarius and Gemini energy here in the Magician, okay? And then Gemini over here too, right? But it looks like when we have the Magician in reverse position, right, it's like somebody's confidence was down or they didn't feel like they had all the tools they needed to manifest something, right? Because normally when she's up, she's got all the swords, the cups, the wands, the pentacles on her table. But when it's reversed, someone's like, I'm not feeling, oops, oh my gosh, this way. I'm not feeling all the way confident, or I'm still missing something that's going to help me succeed and move forward and manifest whatever it is I want to manifest in my life. Okay. So there's just a little bit of like, I'm not sure. Okay. Now, when we put it together though, with this 2 of Wands right side up, this is perfect kind of to go, if you find yourself or another person energy, whatever it is, in that energy of the Magician in reverse, where you're not feeling confident, you're not feeling supported, you don't feel like you have the right tools or the right whatever it is to move forward, then you're going to naturally kind of want to go into the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands is not a go, go, go energy. It's a slowing down of energy. to really think about things, to contemplate things, to do some research, some people watching, right? So this woman is looking into the crystal ball and she's like, okay, how did other people accomplish what I want to accomplish? Or how did other people heal what I wanted to heal, or whatever it is, okay? But it is like there's little tiny leaves on the wands, right? They're starting to kind of sprout. So there is still growth in the past here. There still is like a starting, right? It's a 2 of wands or 2 of staves, right? So she hasn't gotten to 10 yet, but it's a starting place. And so sometimes, of course, if you're feeling not confident, not supported, you don't have the right tools, then you need to go inside and take that time to do your research on yourself and self-love and shadow work, all those things, whatever it may be, so you can then continue to move forward. But also, if you're contemplating, right, when we're talking about the lovers in reverse, some type of partnership, sacred union that's off a little bit here, then maybe you're looking to other romantic relationships. How do they deal with similar problems? Maybe you're looking to other work relationships. How do they deal with similar problems? If you're asking friends or family or help, how do they deal with those problems? Or if you're having problems with your friends and family, then going to someone else and asking, right? Or even just reading about it online, or right, talking to somebody, or trying to figure it out before you move forward. So, it makes sense why these cards have shown up the way that they did, okay? But all of that being said, because we just spent like almost 10 minutes on that, it's okay. It's all divine timing. Your next 3 cards are super positive, super abundant, and for momentum and progress, okay? So let's go forward to your second card. We're done with that one. Now we're on the second week, which could be from around May 29th through June 6th or so. We have the 7 of sacred circles, or 7 of pentacles, in the right side up position. This is like, okay, we're going to store all the food that we need to for the winter, right? We see this kind of Thanksgiving kind of spread here. So what does this mean as far as it's not necessarily Thanksgiving, or you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, right? It's talking about, this is all the work I've done so far, but over here, on the other hand, is all the work I still need to do. Whether we're talking about work in a relationship, work in your career, work and effort into your health, work and effort into your money, work and effort into your business, your creativity, whatever it is, okay? It's like now it's starting to gain momentum and abundance, right? Because it's 7. It's not 2 of sacred circles. It's not 2 of pentacles. It's 7 of pentacles. It's 7 of sacred circles. So it's really close to 10, okay? So it's like, this energy is really good because it's in the right side up position. So it's like other people could be now recognizing, Aries, your efforts or your work in one of these areas too. And they're starting to see you even more the way that you present yourself, or you are also being honest with yourself too. If it's about you, about, okay, this is the work I've done and this is what I still need to do. Let me like make a plan and just get on it, right? So Aries is that entrepreneur energy, the first sign of the zodiac. So you certainly can start things and move things. You need help from others, of course, we all do, but you can get the energy starting and get it going, okay? And then look what it leads to, okay? This little Ace of Cups came back out again, but in a different position and weak. Sorry, let me turn that off. In a different position and weak than Pisces had, okay? But it is kind of course, the same effort, the same energy and effort, right? We talked about in other decks, you'll see a lotus flower in the Ace of Cups in the background. So that represents resilient energy growing during difficult situations, circumstances, excuse me, environments, all of those things, right? And that's why the Ace is coming out. The Ace is the fresh new start energy, the endings and new beginnings. Luck is on your side. Gifts from the universe too. So whatever you're skilled at, naturally, when you see aces come out, I forgot to say that before in Pisces, but anytime aces come out, it's like the universe, the hand, the divine, whatever you want to call it, is blessing your natural talents even more for some here, okay? And also, too, right, it's the Ace of Cups, so it's emotions, right? It's water. So emotionally happy, emotionally content, emotionally fulfilled in some way here, because you did the work, or the other person did the work, or everybody did the work, what have you. Okay, and then we go from, and that was that we were talking about. The third week was from like June 7th to June 13th or so. Um, that is really nice energy to see in the beginning of the month, right? Like, it's always good to have a new month, a new fresh start in some way, even if it's just energetically or whatever. So it's really beautiful, okay? And again, somebody's putting in that work to get there, right? Because just look, you did, right? You saved your resources for the winter. You saved and made the Thanksgiving, and then you have the Ace of Cups. Okay, and then you go from one ace to the other ace, because your fourth card, your fourth week here, Aries, from around June 14th to June 20th or so, you have now the Ace of Sacred Circles, the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so again, gifts from the divine, strengthening your innate talents and gifts, abundance for momentum, progress, right? Endings, new beginnings, fresh start energy. So that's beautiful, okay? And like I said, maybe the first part of the reading was a little, but then it's coming out really nice here for you, okay? Now, what to see here too on the side, it's really small, if you guys can see it, there's a little buffalo there in the card, okay? So the buffalo in the Native American culture, and just in general, if we think about it in basic terms, it represents power, size, you could say courage too, I guess, but I think that more of the bear. But the buffalo, right? Like, just when you look at it, okay, it's a big animal, right? But it has horns, okay. Here, Aries, almost like a ram, right? And so he's like a good luck symbol. I always forget to look it up, but in the Native American culture, most of the buffaloes, right, are brown, like in this card. But then the white buffalo is supposed to be like a really special omen when that comes out. I just want to look it up real quick because I keep talking about it and I forget. The white buffalo omen. Okay, so the white buffalo calf woman, or white buffalo maiden, is a sacred woman of supernatural origin, central to the Lakota religion as the primary cultural prophet. Oral traditions relate that she's brought the seven sacred rites of the Lakota people. What does the white buffalo symbolize? The birth of the white buffalo, sacred white buffalo, is a sign of hope, an indication of good times to come. For many Native Americans, the birth of a white buffalo is the most significant of prophetic signs, equivalent to many Christian signs, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I can't remember why I was talking about. Oh, yes, because we had the buffalo, the brown buffalo. He's still cool, right? He's got some white on him because there's snow. It's wintertime, so he's not necessarily the white buffalo. But what I was saying was that just the symbolism in general of what the buffalo represents, right? And so if you think of most all animals in Native American culture, when they were hunted and used, they used every part of the animal, right? So that buffalo in itself, because buffaloes are fucking big, right? And they're hard to hunt. It's like from what we've seen in the movies anyway, right? So, if you get that buffalo, that's going to be a lot of meat for wintertime. That's abundance, right? That's warmth. You get the hair from the buffalo. You get all the other stuff that they would use the buffalo, the jewelry, this and that, right? So it's just really good luck in general, even if it's not a white buffalo, okay? I don't know why I got stuck on the buffalo there, but anyway. It's good, right? You got two aces back to back here, Aries, so hopefully you know what I'm saying. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to your confirmation card before we keep going and finishing with your oracle card. Okay, because we still have to do Taurus. So you coming Taurus. Okay. All right. So your confirmation card that's confirming all four of these cards, all 4 weeks that we were talking about. Aries, what is that? Right? The Ten of Cups. Oh my God, you got the Ace of Cups, 2 aces, and the Ten of Cups. Okay? The 10 is the completion card in tarot, right? And so this represents leveling up energy in some area of life or multiple areas of your life. But the cups represent our emotions. So again, being emotionally fulfilled, content, happy here. Someone is, whether hopefully it's you, Aries, but it could be the person you're dealing with or multiple people, general environment, okay? Because we see that kind of happy family and there's rainbows and they're all waving and it's all good stuff, okay? So that's so beautiful, Aries. So hopefully you guys will let me know how this comes to be for you during this time period if you want to share in the comments down below. But real quickly before you go, let's get your little oracle card here too. Let me just look it up real quick. Okay, so Aries, you got card number 21, the Sacred Phoenix Heart. Okay. And this is, if you're new to the channel or you haven't been here for a while, what have you, this is the Elena Fairchild is the author. She made this oracle deck of Rumi's poetry. He was a 13th century poet. And so she worked with this artist to make these really beautiful cards that kind of go along with some of his poetry. So we'll read the poem here real quickly and the short meditation. Okay. So Sacred Phoenix Heart. Okay. Under the cover of blood, love veils many rose gardens. In total faith, love tenderly guides every lover to the garden of the heart. Reason says the world is limited in 6 directions. There is no way out. Love says there is a way, and I have traveled it many times. How I adore your defiant, rebellious heart. It knows that It knows that what for the mind is an end is for the heart simply another match to ignite the sacred flames. It eats of love until it is filled, and then becomes hungry again and eats some more, and again and again. It eats of love until it is so full it must simply explode into a sacred fire of passion. It bursts, incapable of sustaining old consciousness. It bursts, unable to sustain. What did it say? Sorry, I can't read today. Let's try that again. It bursts, incapable of sustaining old consciousness in the expanse of blessings unlimited, lavished upon it through the great beloved's affection. It would be like attempting to fit an ocean in a teacup, so it does not. It bursts forth like a dying star into spectacular radiance, only to be reborn again, new and hungry for the next feeding frenzy in love's great banquet. Oh, how I adore your defiant, spectacular heart. Okay. So let's see. We can go and read the meditation, but I really feel like this oracle card, if we had to, I would put it with the Lovers card, right? Even though the Lovers is in reverse, we're talking about if it was right side up before, it would be higher vibrational love, okay? So if I had to put it with one, I would put it with that, but everybody might see it a little differently. Okay, anyway, to get in the energy of this card, it says, place your hands on your heart and say, this sacred phoenix heart is blessed through every loss, every grief and sadness, every mourning. This heart grows strong, ready to ignite into new life, into the dance that is not the funeral procession, but the rite of spring. This heart is ready to leap with new life, to be infused with the joy of innocence and the passion of the deepest devotion. How I trust my heart to lead me, guided by the inner voice of love through all that could possibly be. I am safe. This heart knows the way, and I follow it faithfully now into the light of a new day. Through sacred grace, so be it. That's beautiful. All right. And so it says, then after you say that, you can place your hands in prayer, close your eyes. Imagine there is love in your heart and that you can send a gentle acknowledgement of that love from your mind to your heart. As you bow your head towards your hands, imagine you are mentally bowing to the greatness of your own heart and the love it adores. Okay. So that is beautiful, right? So you're like going like this. So your mind is bowing to your heart. All right. So that is your message here, Aries. And hopefully you guys got something from it. So let's go ahead and do some shuffling, some regrounding of the energy and move on to Taurus. Yes, we're going to do Taurus. Last but not least, Taurus. Okay. All right. So, yes. I'm just going to say something that I can't remember now. It'll come back to me in just a minute. It got super quiet. I had music on like a little bit in the background for the dogs. Okay. There we go. Just like a little bit of instrumental something. Okay. Some kind of calming something in the background. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, Aries, if you're still here, I will be posting the picture after the live is done in case you want to see the cards more up close in detail and all that good stuff. So it's in the description box below. If you follow the instructions there, you will find it. All right. Okay, so let's do a little bit of crystals and just throw these cards randomly somewhere up in here. And then we'll do our sound bell. Okay. Oh wait, what am I doing? That's a good question. Sometimes I have to even ask myself that many times. What am I doing? That is a good question. I'm going to take a sip of coffee in a minute, that's for sure. It's been not a super long day, but a little bit. Hold on. Okay. So let's do the sound. Why is this on? Okay. That was weird. My timer was on for some reason. I'm just going to put it back to what it was. And we'll do a little sound bell. All right, Taurus. So if you're just tuning in, right, we're going to get ready and do Taurus in just a moment. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and out whenever, right? And do our little grounding of our energy and healing for myself and for you guys, and get ready for Taurus. Okay. Let's get into it for Taurus. Okay. Dear Taurus, yes. We did not forget about you. Let's do the oracle card first. Okay. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Taurus, or sign Taurus, the bull. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest vibration? For May 20th to June 20th, Taurus. Make sure you don't want to shuffle that again, just in case. All right. Spirits. Guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Taurus, the bull. May 20th to June 20th, Taurus. Messages for Taurus. Okay. Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus. May 20th. June 20th. Taurus. Messages for Taurus. May 20th through June 20th. Taurus. Taurus. May 20th, June 20th. Taurus. Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus. All right. So we're going to mix it up anyway. Make a little fish pond, so I like to say. All right. I'm just going to take one oracle card here for Taurus, Earth sign Taurus, for May 20th through June 20th, for their highest vibration. Okay, that was fast. All right, so we got that. Cool, I don't think I've seen that one yet, but we'll talk about it later. Okay. Push everything up there for a second. Okay. Messages for Earth sign Taurus for May 20th to June 20th. Messages for Taurus. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the highest vibration? Messages for Earth sign Taurus for May 20th to June 20th. Taurus. Messages for Taurus for May 20th, June 20th, Taurus. Taurus, Earth sign Taurus, the bull. For May 20th, June 20th, Taurus. What does Taurus need to see? What does Taurus need to know for their highest good? All right. Let's mix it up. Messages for Earth sign Taurus, the bull. For May 20th through June 20th, what does Taurus need to see? What does Taurus need to know for their highest good? Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus, Earth sign Taurus, the bull. For May 20th through June 20th, Taurus. Messages for Taurus, Earth sign Taurus, the bull. For May 20th through June 20th, what does Taurus need to see? What does Taurus need to know? Messages for Earth sign Taurus, the bull. For May 20th through June 20th. I need to see. All right, so we got that. We got the top. Okay. I think we have one reversal, so I'm just gonna, two. I'm gonna confirm real quickly with Spirit if they want it this way. Okay. Oh, all right. And last deck. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Taurus. The Bull. For May 20th, Taurus. Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus. See what I need to know. May 20th through June 20th. Messages for Taurus. May 20th, June 20th. Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus. From May 20th through June 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? For their highest good. Taurus. Alright. Oops. Alright. We're only taking one card from this deck anyway, but we want to make sure we get it as shuffled as we can. All right. And then, of course, we will take the top and the bottom as well. Okay. Messages for Earth sign Taurus, the Bull. For May 20th through June 20th, what do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest good? Top, bottom. Okay. Got two reversals. We have to make sure. Spirits do. In reverse position, okay, they don't want that one reversed, but they wanted the other one. All right, so just go over here. Oh, and they're falling. Okay. So let's move everything down, and we're going to take a picture real quickly, and then we'll get started. Okay, so yes, that's how it went. Okay, 1 second, guys. Hold on. Okay. All right, good enough for me. Okay. So I'll just put this over here for the end. Where are we at? 16. Okay. All right, Taurus, what's going on? Let's get into your reading here. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. So, if you're just tuning in, right, we're about to do Taurus. If you watch this later, I'm just doing the timestamps. So we are doing about a four-week time period, okay, that corresponds to each of these first 4 cards. And then we will talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each tarot deck and the confirmation card, and then at the very end, the oracle, okay? So we were saying that the first week can be energy, the first card from May 20th through May 29th. It's not exact, it can be a little bit before, a little bit after. Second card can be from around May 29th through June 6th. And the third card can be from around June 7th through June 13th. And the fourth card and fourth week can be from around June 14th through June 20th or so. All right, so I'll try to remember to say those dates again when we're on the cards. But yeah, let's see here. So Taurus, you have 3 major arcanas, okay? So you got Libra energy, you've got Pisces, and then you have the Wheel of Fortune, which always represents 4 different zodiac signs. So with the Wheel of Fortune, you would have also Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo and Taurus energy. Okay. So what does that mean? It could mean you're dealing with one of those signs, or you have a lot of those signs predominantly in your birth chart, or the other person does. Or it could have something to do with the collective unconscious or the astrology at this time. But I wanted to call out the major arcanas as far as the other zodiac signs in the beginning of the reading before I forget. All right. But you don't have to necessarily resonate with that part if you don't feel it, right? So let's go ahead and call out your cards in order, though. So you have the Justice card in the right side up position here. So that's the Libra energy, Taurus. And then your second card is the Nine of Staves or Nine of Wands, right side up. And then your third card is the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position. And then your third card is the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position, and your fourth card is the Nine of Sacred Circles or Nine of Pentacles right side up. And then we'll talk about the other ones as they come out, or as we get there. Okay. All right. So Taurus, when we, start with the first card, and, throughout your whole reading, of course, everybody has a past. They have the recent past, and then they have a past further back than that. So it will be different for everybody. But we feel it in particular sometimes more in that first card coming out. So this could be energy from the recent past, whatever that means for you, a couple days ago, a couple months, a couple years, etc., vice versa, whatever it means for you. Okay. But we start off with the Justice card in the right side up position. So this can be talking about your Taurus that perhaps there was something that happened recently that had you or another person or multiple people more in the justice kind of mindset of really wanting to talk about, what motivates people. How do we have justice in the law system? How are we all supposed to live by the same type of rules, that kind of thing, right? If we're talking about the one side of justice, but also we're talking about weighing things, right? So you always kind of see, not in this deck particular, but you see the balance scales, right? So something being weighed or something being judged as either good or bad or heavy or light or whatever it may be. Okay. But what's cool about is in this deck, you see Lady Justice here with her scarf over her head, or what do you want to call it? She's holding a sword, across her body on her lap. So the sword represents in the tarot our intellect, our logical mind, right? But then also there's a snake going up around her feet here, and even looks like some of the Ten Commandments, Bible stuff here in the background, okay? And there's some other pots here that are kind of covered in spider webs, right? So it can be about, when we talk about the Ten Commandments, right, that would be laws and justice and how things are weighed and balanced and good and bad. But how do we evolve with that, okay, over time? And how do we use our logical mind to also balance those things together with the time frame we're in now? We're talking about light and dark energies, right, that we also normally would see in like the High Priestess card, okay, with the two kind of pillars in the background. So something here in the recent past or currently coming up here, Taurus, can talk about the duality, right? Wanting to find balance within the situation. We also have, I never noticed that before, maybe I have, but it's been a minute. There's the yin yang symbol above on her little throne thing that she's sitting on here as well. Okay, so that would be, again, light and dark, masculine and feminine. I'm not saying one is good or bad or better than the other, whatever you want to say. Okay, we're not saying that in particular. We're kind of just saying that when this Justice card shows up here, Taurus, hopefully when we're talking about the higher vibrational frequencies of Libra, of justice, right? If something, was brought to justice, hopefully it was correctly weighed and judged and balanced, okay? But I do see here, when we talk about your second card here, Taurus, that there is a little bit of this kind of tendency to be wanting to give up, okay? Because you have the Nine of Staves or Nine of Wands showing up again that Aries had in a different position. But this is like being right almost at 10, right? 9, 10 comes in order. So wanting to almost give up, wanting to feel, or not wanting to feel, but being exhausted, tired, right? This guy is going through some type of rite of passage here, okay? And so he's really close. He doesn't realize how close he is, right? It's like, dude, why are you going to give up now and take a break when you could just finish? But sometimes, we need to take that break in order to finish the way we want to or correctly or what have you, right? And so, when this shows up here, this could be just saying here, Taurus, that give yourself the time to take the break if you need it. Just don't stay there too long, right? Like a break is a break, right? You're not ending it. You're not completely stopping. You're taking a break. So, when we talk about this energy, this could be around, what did I say, May 29th through June 6th, right? So the end of the month, the beginning of the first week of the new month of June. So, that if you talk about it, even just in the energetic way, sometimes when some bills are due at the beginning of the month, right? And some you can set to pay them whenever throughout the month, right? But it's almost just like getting your energy back in order or the other person's energy back in order. And also too, if we go even just from the Justice card right side up to then the Nine of Staves, the Justice card can be for some, depending on what it's about, right? Since it is a general reading, it can be about love, work, money, friends, health, etc. Depending on how that Justice card energy landed, maybe it was really exhausting in some way. Okay, and so you need to take a break, right? And just make sure you just don't stay there too long. Okay. All right, let's keep going forward though. All right, so Taurus, now we're talking about your third card, your third week, which can be energy from around June 7th to June 13th or so. Okay, but this would be just a little bit of some energetic blockage or some stagnant energy here because we have the Wheel of Fortune, but it's in the reverse position. But as a foreshadowing thing, don't worry, it's not all bad and it doesn't stay that way forever, right? Because energy always ebbs and flows, all right? But this is, again, could be energy when we're talking about other zodiac signs, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo energy, okay? So you, again, could be dealing with one of those signs or that just is showing up in that particular energy. But when it's in the reverse position, this is saying that maybe this isn't the time, and this totally makes sense to me myself, right? We officially stop Mercury retrograde June 3rd, but we have the shadow until June 18th. So we're on this third card, this third week. It's still the 7th through the 13th when we're on the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay, so this could just be straight up, everybody should have gotten this card for the third week, okay, in the reverse position, because it's like Mercury retrograde shadow hasn't completely lifted yet. It's starting to by this time, but it's not completely there. So it could just be straight up, that's what's going on here, Taurus. For some of you guys, that you need to let the energy come to a more favorable position in general for everybody. If you're trying to start new projects or you're just trying to get your abundance back up or just be more lucky in general, okay? But let's kind of talk about maybe why, aside from that, maybe why this Wheel of Fortune has shown up in reverse position here for you. So we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. All right. So your first one is, we have the Hanged One or the Hanged Man, as is known, on the right side up position. And then we have the Six of Staves or Six of Wands in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck. And we're talking about it with the Wheel of Fortune, right? In reverse. Okay. So it looks like here that in the past, in some way here, Taurus, somebody or something or an energy was open to learning and looking at something from a new perspective, right? That's the plus side of the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. But on the other side, it can be for some, and I didn't mention this in the last reading because Aries had this card, but in a different position, a different place, all that stuff. Normally when we talk about the hanged man or the hanged one, he's an upside down dude, right? So you would say, oh, he's looking at things from a new perspective. He's open to learning. He's cool. But, blood is going to eventually get to his head, and he's going to need to not be in the upside down position anymore. So he needs to ground himself. So that's like, if you had to say for that card, that would be the warning energy of the card. Well, the same thing is true for this card. But if the baby's in the stomach and utero still, right? And so it's like, if you stay in that energy of being too open and looking at things from too many different perspectives, then you're never going to be born, right? You're never going to get your feet back on the ground. Okay, so that's just for some, not for everybody. But I really feel like the majority of people here with the cards, the way they showed up, this hanged man, right, led to this Six of Staves energy, or Six of Wands energy, okay? Because that is about celebrations and supportive energy, okay? It's saying that in this past area here, Taurus, when we talk about staves or wands, that is our defenses. Our defense is too high, our defense is too low. Is our immune system good? Because it talks about our health. Right here, it would be, with this position and this card in particular, all good. It would be that your defenses aren't too high and they're not too low. They're perfect. They're balanced. They're just right. Okay, maybe even going back to the balance energy, Libra energy of the Justice card. Okay, so this is really good. It's supportive energy. So it's like, why, if this was really good in the past, is this happening in the more future, current, present energies? Again, could just be the Mercury retrograde shadow still leaving us, okay? But let's see what else we can find out in the other deck. Same thing, top and bottom, past energy. This time we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse on the top and the Eight of Pentacles, right? Yes, the Eight of Pentacles in the right side up position on the bottom, okay? So here, when we talk about the Nine of Pentacles in reverse position, past energy here, Taurus, somebody was not using their skill, determination, and focus to make more abundance in their life. Abundance can be, right, money, whatever it is you want to manifest in your life. Because she's upside down, right? Her falcon, okay, if it was right side up, would be like her little helper that's going to go bring her whatever she tells it to bring her, right? To make all this abundance, all this wealth come in. But also in other decks, you don't see it here in this card. There's a little scribe guy who's like taking notes for her. So there's normally very supportive energy. So in the past, there could have been some type of unsupportive energy here in the reverse position. And when you put it together with the Eight of Pentacles right side up, it could be talking about something to do with work and effort into something, some area of your life. So maybe in the past, in some way here, Taurus, somebody wasn't valuing your work or effort into something, or you weren't being honest with yourself enough about how much work you've done and how much work you still need to do. Something like that, okay? Because it's like there's pentacles hanging from the tree above him, and then he's got the ones on the ground that he's carving and he's working into. So I'm trying to think of the way to say it. It could be for some here, Taurus, that there is something, because it's 8 and 8, right? 8 and 8. It's 8, which is 4 and 4. So it makes me think of, again, justice. So the balance theme keeps coming up in your reading in different places, in the future and the past. But it's also weird, too, when you look at it, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse coming on the top of the deck, and on the bottom of the deck is the Eight of Pentacles right side up. Normally you would have, right, 8 and then 9, but it's the other way. So that could be a clue there, too. It could be that all you need to do, right, is to, again, regain the focus, the clarity, the determination, the skill to sharpen it, to make the falcon turn right side up. So to work on those things during the end of that Mercury retrograde shadow that we're still waiting for at this time, when we're talking about that third week, right? So maybe that's all you need to do. Maybe not focus on so much as this is what I've done so far and this is what I need to do. Well, yeah, that's cool, and it's a good thing to be honest about that, and for other people to see your effort and for it to be truthful, again, justice, right, of what it is. But also it goes more back to your mindset here, Taurus, because I really feel that if the Nine of Pentacles was right side up, um, this woman looks like super happy, right? She's like frolicking in the garden and all this stuff. So maybe it is also not just about, because you're an earth sign, Taurus, right? And you're known as really hardworking. Okay, shout out to all my Taurus friends, sun sign Taurus friends out there, right? You are straight up, but it's also like you need to find maybe the passion, the skill, determination, and focus, not only with what your work is and your work efforts, but just in being happy again and frolicking in the garden again. Maybe you're working too much, right? I mean, damn, this guy is like ripped if you look at his back muscles. I don't think I've ever said that before, but that's funny. You know what I mean? Like, take a break, Taurus. Again, I think it's just kind of the same thing you already said with the Nine of Staves. Like, they're both nines, right? One is past energy, one is future. And they're not necessarily good or bad, but it's like, how hard are you working? Damn. All right, let's keep going forward, because I have no idea what time it is. Your fourth card here, Taurus, is another 9, okay? Definitely look into some numerology around the number 9 if you feel guided. But your fourth card in the fourth week here, we're saying from around June 14th to June 20th. Now you have the 9 of Sacred Circles, or 9 of Pentacles right side up. And I just realized that that's your repeating card. Okay. Would you look at that? All right. So the reverse one is past energy and future energy. So looks like you do it here, Taurus. Okay, you better do it. You better work it, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah, I completely just didn't see that before. I mean, look at them. Let's say they're both right side up, how the two different artists depict the same energy pretty much, right? They both have a falcon, both have a lady. All right. So you were able to get back your skill, determination, and focus. Hopefully your passion here too, Taurus. Okay. Get back the supportive energy, get back the abundance, the money, the wealth, the love, the health, whatever it is you want to manifest in your life. Okay. She's doing it. And she's also doing her sacred smoke, right? The Native American tradition of saging, right? Okay. So to help her clear out the bad energies. So that would go with, excuse me, last thing before we move on to the next ones. That clearing out of the energies. When you think of saging, or not even just sage, right? There's Palo Santo, there's frankincense, there's all types of herbs to use, right? To clear out bad energies or just neutralize the energies. It's like to take a break, right, in that past, because you're working so hard. Take a short break, whatever that means for you, so then you can get back to being productive if that's what you want, or manifest whatever it is in your life, and also to neutralize the energies. All right, blah, blah, blah. Taurus. Sorry, you're my last reading for the night, and it's just been a long day. Your confirmation card here, Taurus, is the Four of Swords in the right side up position. And this is confirming all 4 cards, all 4 weeks here that we're talking about, okay? And so I feel like this is definitely a nice, gentle reminder, okay? Because this could be considered more future, current energies, possibilities coming up. But what do we see? There's a tomb, right? Okay. It looks like a church. They're in a church. There's a guy on top of the tomb, how they used to do the tops of the tombs back in the day, right? And he's, excuse me, he's resting or praying, right? And so You're just talking about the resting, right? Okay. But the swords are going down, remember? So the swords in the tarot represent the logical mind. So if there is any stress, anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in your head, for you here, Taurus, or the person you're dealing with, multiple people, general environment situation, to get rid of some of that, right? Maybe you just need to take a little break, a little rest, right? For some. For others of you, it could be that you need to end something, put something to rest. But it will be different for everybody, of course, right? Since it's a general reading. But I really feel like it could just be putting to bed or to rest the idea that you always have to have this anxiety, worry, overthinking. That's how I would take it based on all these other cards. So don't think you always have to be overworking and tired and stressed. Okay, so take the rest that you need. All right. And with that being said, I'm going to do this oracle card here before you go so that I can take a rest. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so your oracle card for this time period, and I've never seen this one, Taurus, is card number 16, and it says from nothing to everything. And it's really cool. It looks like space or something in the background, and then some kind of mountains or even ocean in the foreground. It's really pretty. Oh, and this is from the Rumi Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. And Rumi, if you're new or you haven't seen this part before, he was a 13th century Persian poet, and so she took some of the author took some of his poetry and paired it with this artist's depictions. Okay, so we're going to read the quick poem and a little short meditation. Okay, but yeah, it's really pretty, and it almost looks like, well, it did for a second. It looked like a face, but maybe not. I thought I saw a face. Okay. Okay, from nothing to everything. Oh, my friend, if you're longing to be written on, become a blank page. How you've been shedding your skins, your layers, your certainties. Gone are fixed identities and indefinite opinions. Keep casting those shackles aside, even if you fear you're releasing too much, and then perhaps you shall cease to exist. You shall only cease to exist if you have known yourself to be thus far. Another animation of you awaits, blazing angel, something more beautiful and true. Yet you are here at the pruning stage like a gardener for the soil. Shall the garden spring back to life, or will the enthusiastic denudging process be rather too much and unintentionally kill off the garden altogether? Fear not, your soul is made of hardy stuff. It can handle a lot of culling and will shine even brighter for it. There is a greater story to be impressed upon your essence than the one you are currently dreaming up. Though you are brilliant, no doubt about it, my angel of love, there is one who is even more so. The imagination of this greater writer is beyond our comprehension. The stories that pour forth from that cosmic poet in every moment are so rich they inspire the creation of art and music. One such story is especially created for you, yes, you, with a starring role and all the best supporting cast. You shall grasp in wonder, awe, glee, and delight when you hear it. It is a great romance, a great adventure, with an ending truly spectacular and divine. Do you wish to hear it? Become attentive now. Put your tales aside, as dramatic as they seem right now, and prepare to be entranced by the greater storyteller, the living poet of love, as you are entranced in a tale of the unfolding divine destiny. Okay, that's beautiful. All right. So that was so funny. I kept saying the Nine of Pentacles girl in her garden. I don't know why. I mean, she's always in a garden, but well, not in Not in that one, but in this one, right? If she was right side up, she would have been in her garden. She's still in her garden even though she's reversed. And then the poem kept talking about the garden, so I thought that was cool. Anyway, here is the quick meditation before you go, if you want to get into the energy of the card and get in your garden energy, what have you. Okay. It says, place your hands in prayer and bow your head and say aloud the following. I choose to trust in the great genius unfolding in my life. I give thanks for the blessing of grace now flowing into my heart. I have no need to know. I trust in the perfection of my being unfolding with innate intelligence and wisdom. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, holds me in his protection, and I accept my destiny with a peaceful and trusting heart. Please help me to surrender the stories, attachments, fantasies, and fears that have held me back from living my heart's desires fully. I now choose unconditional trust in the loving genius of life to lead me into my fulfilled destiny now. So be it. All right. And that is that. I mean, I don't know how you top that. But very well said. So that is your reading here, Taurus. I hope you got something from it. And if you want to see the picture, I will be uploading it after the live, in a little bit. In case you want to see the cards more up close in detail, all you have to do, again, is click in the description box below and follow the little instructions there on how to see the picture later. But yes, thanks again. And I hope you enjoy this time period because, like I said, you still have some really awesome stuff coming up. So as long as you take your break, you'll be all right. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take my break. But what else? Yeah, enjoy this time period. But also, if you want to subscribe and you haven't yet, and you're like, okay, this girl's really sleepy, but she's cool, and you haven't subscribed yet, all you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure it's blue and active, and you'll just be notified when I put out new readings. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys later. All right, take care. Bye.